What's up guys, this is Kevinhwsohn here, bringing you with a new video. So, once again, welcome to the new video again, and this time around, it's a little bit of the another console overview. This was totally unexpected because I received this yesterday night, which was completely unexpected for me, and this is actually my late Christmas gift, sort of. So, and I just received it yesterday, and overall, like it was fairly quick for me to actually to check it out, the actual system. So, yeah, it was pretty fast, and overall console overview wise, yeah, you're about to see. But I actually received another Famicom. Yes, this is my second model, believe it or not. Oh, so yeah, let's look at the back of the console. It says Coolbaby. Okay, so in other words, another generic Famiclone, right after the style of the Nintendo Famicom, of course. So it really resembles the Nintendo Famicom in general, but yeah, as you can see, there's like a major difference. This clone, the Coolbaby, was it was pretty popular around 2017. I think it still is going on. You're commonly able to find this particular clone on AliExpress and all that. So here's the major console itself. So yeah. And also, not to mention, I also got the manual. I didn't got the box because it was from the postal code from South Korea. So here's the manual. Before I go over to the overall console overviews. It's it's all in Chinese since this was made by Coolbaby. Coolbaby, I'm not too familiar with, but I'm pretty sure they're related with the Cool Boy company, who produces one of those the real multi cartridges. One of those examples being 401 or something like that, and I think they still do actually. And yeah, with the power adapters and all that, trouble checkups. Oh, it's in English, and no, there are some differences in specific connection for all kinds of television. Request local dealers or contact the manufacturer for more detailed information. Local dealers contact the manufacturer? Jeez. Local dealers, eh? What are they talking about? But, oh well. They don't really have a bad English in general, so yeah, that's kudos for them. So, alright, so now we're going to talk about the major console itself. So here's the console. As you can see, it's right after the shape of the sort of a similar style of the Famicom, you know. And the controllers are detachable, but they're not hardwired. As you can see, they uses the 9-pin Sega Genesis and Atari 2600 or Contra 64 controller pin. So it goes in right here, just like that. I'm really afraid. Oh, excuse me. if this thing will accidentally bend and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, we'll be able to talk about the controls in detail later on. But yeah, as you can see, I just want to go over with the consoles. Okay, as you can see, without the controller, it looks like a lonely little. Oh man, it looks so lonely. As you can see, the console doesn't even weigh a pound. It's barely nothing. It's lightweighted. So it's apparently dual audio. Well, granted, it does give slightly better image than the RF signal from the original Famicom. But yeah, it's also had DC 9 voltage. But yeah, talk about the audio quality itself. Well, the sound emulation is obviously not correct 100%. It's not genuine the original Famicom. We'll talk about the actual we'll talk about the overall actual quality of the console later on. But now just to clarify, this is totally like unplanned, like an unscripted video. It's just like it was on the rush, so like you might be able to see like some of the improvisation, but please excuse me for with that type of style. But yeah. Anyways, as you can see, here's the actual console content. You got you got your eject button, which is fairly nice. There's a cartridge the sleeve in the red Famicom fashion. On and off, it doesn't have the orange sticker, but instead, if you take a look at it closely, it has on and power on and off like label here. And switching off the power before loading or unloading the cartridge. And push this button for restart. Reset button. Very clicky reset button, so yeah, that's something. And also, it has the LED light. Ah, that's pretty cool. Now let's talk about the controllers. As you can see, they're not hardwire, and they're fairly long, but which I didn't want to actually like what do you call, like, unwrap this thing, like, so I just want to like maintain like this. I don't know why, but for some reason I just wanted to like keep it like that. But the cords are pretty long in general, and they're detachable like this, so yeah, that's the thing. And detachable like a side. Now, keep in mind, both of the first controller and the second controller does the same thing. Second controller, if I can show you, like, it doesn't have any of the microphone from the original official Famicom feature and all that, so it's all the same thing. But yeah, about the controller, let's talk about this. So, buttons, they're convex. Yeah, unlike the official Famicom controller, which was concave. This is convex. Which, okay, buttons, I'm able to used to with it, and also it has like the turbo buttons as well. Yeah, and the select and start bar, that doesn't feel too bad. And the gold plate is actually not a real gold plate, it's just the plain sticker. Very shiny. I give it that, but oh boy. Let's talk about the worst part about this. The D-pad. My goodness, is this thing pretty awful. Because when you use the D-pad here, about this, it doesn't have the central pivot. Okay, so if I press in the middle, it acts as a the button, which is like absolutely nothing. But if let's say if I'm playing like the shooting games and all that, and you're trying to like rocking your D-pad, or maybe you're trying to type the Konami code with this one. It's nearly like frustrating to like actually like press it, because the D-pad itself is like holds the whole thing, like it presses down the whole thing. So bottom all, it's not very really good D-pad as in general, but as people say, all the people can use to it, it's crap factor. So you might able to get used to it, and the casual players won't really notice. Now keep in mind, this system I'll give like some degree, because it's not mainly for the collectors as in general. It's for, I guess it's mainly for the people who really wants to get into the retro gaming, but they don't have like the cheaper options. And the official due to the higher price of the official console has been gone up. So yeah, they will be finding some of the cheaper solution like these, but I mean, yeah, these are just, yeah, D-pad is pretty god-awful, I have to admit with that. But just like the official Famicom, it's a round edges, and the wires still come from the side as well, which tries to really replicate on the back. It has like the 6 screws. I'm not going to do the teardown, maybe later on, but yeah, it's not super good. So, but buttons, they feel fine, and turbo buttons, they seem to work okay, which I'll be showing some of the demonstration later on the actual compatibility footage. Not really. I'm not gonna do like the compatibility test and all that. Compatibility wise, if I have to briefly mention about it, most of the official games works. But but some of the games that you have to actually actually clean out the actual contacts like before you actually plug it into the actual system, because this clone as in general, it's very very sensitive with in terms of the pin connection. So yeah, you really gotta be treat your games like treat this thing like well with care. And as in caring, by mean that care about the your cartridges like well. So yeah. And speaking of which, I also got a aside from the manual, I received a few of the other contents, which are the AV cables, the separate HDMI converters are apparently available, but yeah, I mean, you know, what can you do? But aside from that, I also oh yeah, I think this might be the first Famiclone in which it runs with the USB power. No joke, actually. If I plug it in on here, yeah, I mean, it runs with USB, which is quite interesting actually. Since this might be the only Famiclone that I've seen so far that runs with the actual USB. So you can actually plug into the Apple charger or the even laptops and all that. So let's say if I plug it into my own computer like right away. Now take a look at this. Look at here. Ooh, yeah, the red light. That's actually pretty sick, you know. I think I'll give some credit for that actually, because in terms of the this type of aftermarket Famiclone systems, let's say if these type of Famiclones for this specific country region and all that, you're never really sure which type of in terms of this type of Famiclones, you're never really sure which voltage is suitable for this type for the clone consoles, like in terms of the AC adapters and all that. If you're trying to use it into the overseas countries that countries, or as I would like stated, the country that outside of the country that from the country that I bought this system. So let's say so what I'm trying to say is, like, if this specific clone was manufactured for a specific Chinese region, and I'm trying to use it into the overseas and all that, in terms of the AC adapters, you would never really know like which one is like suitable voltage for using the overseas ones, like unless you have like the converter and all that. So I gotta say, like having the USB like power connector is just, you know, it's very efficient, you know. I gotta give like kudos for that. You don't really have to like worried about like the AC adapter like burning and all that kind of stuff, because I have like a lot of clones like little computer, that one like the AC adapter always like heats up, and I'm really afraid like that thing like it might like eventually explode. So that's the thing, you know. So I gotta give kudos for that. Aside from that, I also received the two what I would say packing cartridges. So this is Contra 24-in-1. So what this basically is just original Contra, not the Japanese one, but the US ROM. And what this is, it has like a bunch of menus. Like you think there is like the 24 Contra games, but that's not the case here. What this is like, let's say you can play as in the regular Contra, but let's say you want to play the Contra with the different stages, or let's say you just only want to play with the spray gun for the whole time. There's a specific menu where it only sets as the mandatory weapon as the spray gun, and that's the only weapon you can use for the whole time, unless you get the other items and all that. But yeah, that's the idea about this 24-in-1 cartridges. As you can see, it goes right in there. Oh man, when I first plugged the cartridge into the system, it didn't feel good at all. It wobbles a lot, and I feel like I'm about to like break something whenever I like plug the system. Yeah, it doesn't feel the satisfaction when you plug the cartridge. Like, all right, you'll be able to play some of the those 8-bit goodness. It doesn't feel like that. So another multi-cart. This is pretty hilarious. The story behind this is, again, Super Games 501. Now I actually uncovered this multi-cart a very long time ago, but the thing was, I actually gave this card away for my friend, But here I am now. This is one of the packing games. Yeah, it's here again. It's back to me. So Super Games 501. It's again with this yellow cartridge. Like, what's about this? Like, what's about this like cartridge nowadays? Is this how like the Famicom bootleg cartridges like goes by nowadays? Just it's the same shell factor as the 401 and Pocket Games 150 in one, and Ultimate Famicom Remix on 1+2. So I'll put all the multi-cards review on links on the description, so you guys can check it out later on. But yeah, this is yet another one of those semi-real multi-cartridges where it has like bunch of like newer titles and the random titles and bunch of the nice code gems, which we're not gonna go through that. Like, this is not the major purpose of this video, so yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is going through some of the major rundown on to see how this thing actually runs, and yeah, just give you guys the general idea on whether this clone console is good or not. Unfortunately, mostly on the bad side, spoiler alert, but yeah, just to give you guys the general idea, I will just hook this console up and see how it performs. Alright, so I hooked up the system, so it's ready to go. One thing I had to mention, the actual USB, it lights up. Ooh. Not to mention, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, but yeah, what do you know, not too much to complain about. What I would complain is the length of the console to the USB port is pretty short, at least for the distance from my television and the console itself. But in the meanwhile, the AV cables, as long as it is. So yeah, and the controller length, it's pretty decent as well, because I didn't really untie this thing. That's why it's still like this short right now. There's a specific reason why I'm not untying this, which I'm not gonna like tell you. Like, I'm not gonna go like more in depth into it. But yeah, that's the whole thing. And here's the cartridge itself. As for the eject button, I forgot to mention. Yeah, ejects like that. So if I turn on without the cartridge, it shows that interesting graphical glitches, which I have no clue what this is supposed to represent. I don't know. Did they I don't know if they're supposed to turn the thing on and all that, and turn like supposed to have like the built-in games and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, what do I know? But anyways, we're gonna start up with the Contra 24-in-1. Let's see. So here's the first cartridge, which is the Contra 24-in-1. It's basic menus and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, let's just say how about we go with the sound emulation wise, so far it's not terrible. I'll just volume up for the sake of the you guys are viewing. So here we go. I can see my reflection kinda. The sound emulation is a bit off and the color is mixed bag. You know? It's not mixed bag, I mean, it's okay for the most part, but I will admit the colors are really vibrant. They're really brighter than the how like it normally should be. So far doing good. Controller wise, as I stated before, the D-pad doesn't have any central pivots. So in terms of the pushing diagonally, all that, it's super difficult. However, once you actually get a hang of it, it start to get like really used to. You get to like get used to with its crap factor. Okay, I just died. Okay, how could I? All right, so just keep on destroying. Yeah, there you go. yeah, that's about the Contra. Let me plug in the other cartridge. You can see my reflection, so that's pretty you know. All right, here is 501s that no one would ever loved about, you know. So I'm not gonna go through every list. I briefly covered through this multi-card before, but yeah. Again, the multi-card. If I have to talk about the multi-card wise, it went back to the once again the linear style with the no previous of the games to show for just the text. So you have to check every single each game to see what are the actual content of the game. But the game list wise, it's just like mixed bag, like you know, just bit of a different types of games like here and there. So how about we play some of the classics like good old Mario 14 for you. So sound emulation wise, yeah, that's incorrect. It's kind of, the sound emulation is a bit off. Color, once again, I have to point it out. It's pretty, you know, very bright color in terms of the NES quality. So, Super Mario 14, of course. This game alone was actually the introduction for me to the world of pirated games. So I have some nostalgia with it. I think I'll try to show you some of the different games, probably most common games. So let's say the games like Tiny Toon Adventures. If you're familiar with this game, it shouldn't really sound like this. So yeah, good old Tiny Toon Adventures. Every sound effects and the soundtrack wise, it's a bit off. So that's something about this like clone as in general. But what do you expect about this aftermarket Famiclones in general? Like you don't expect their audio quality to be like 100% like accurate though. Granted, like I would definitely this is obviously inferior to the official console, that's for sure. But yeah, I've seen worse though. So yeah, I will give some degrees, although it's not super great either. So yeah, I'm just gonna like beat this round and just like moving on to the next game. As you can see, every soundtrack. If you're unfamiliar with this game, yeah, you should be aware that the soundtrack is not super correct. Colors are way vibrant than how it should be. I think we'll be end this up with some finishing up with some of the classics like regular Mario Bros. Without the title screen. Damn, that's a good sign. Good way to remove some of the copyrights, am I right? For the most part, it fairly works pretty well. Game emulation wise, you know, try to mimic the original console. These type of no-act console, also known as Nintendo on the chip consoles, they're way inferior. Some of the compatibility wise, it's mixed bag. Some of the bootleg games Some of the games or the bootleg games might run better than the another. I haven't tried the all the games though, but yeah, I mean, compatibility wise, granted, okay, it's not 100% accurate in how it should be running. That's one thing for sure. The controllers are just pretty cheap feeling. As a general, oh no. Mario Bros. It's a regular Mario Bros. Introduction of the Luigi as well. If you take a little listen to his walking sound just play up some few more rounds and then I'll be done with it. Okay. No. A few more seconds. Yeah. So overall, well, while thankfully, it's not the worst console ever though. It's not the worst Famiclone. Like, granted, it's really cheap Famiclone, but I've seen worse. I'll be completely honest with you in terms of the game emulation from the image qualities to one and another. I've seen worse. And again, this is not mainly for the collectors as a whole. Like, this is mainly for the I think the target audiences are mainly for the kids who want to enjoy this type of like the old games, or the people who want to go back to the nostalgic memories, but they never they can't really afford with the actual expensive hardwares, with the demand of with the limited amount of the resources, limited amount of the actual official consoles from back in the day, and not to mention due to higher the increasing price of the retro games as in general. So this could be the cheaper option for those type of people. So yeah, I would give some benefit of doubt for that. It does have like, sure, I mean, like it does kind of like cash into the Nintendo Famicom's like popularity, but I don't think they had like the full bad intentions as well. So hopefully I don't, because I'm not too sure about the actual company itself. But yeah, what do I know about the actual manufacturers? Overall, in the end, it's just a mediocre Famiclone. Well, I'm not saying not all the people can't afford the actual official console, and if you can afford it, which that's good for you. Like, and I mean, like you can actually avoid these type of like the cheap Famiclones. If you can actually afford it, then that's good for you. But like I said before, if you're not like the huge super authentic retro gaming collector as a whole, and if you just want to like go for the actual cheaper ways to enjoy this type of retro game, and at the same time like you just want to like enjoy like some of the just major classics and all that, then I don't think this is too bad as in terms of the price wise. It's not awful. Don't get me wrong. This is inferior to the official hardware, and even I would say if you can't afford it, I will most likely suggest you to go for the actual official hardware. However, if you're not, like as I mentioned it before, if you're not the huge collector, or if you don't really have to experience this retro games in the very like authentic way, then I'd say FC Compact Coolbaby, it's not a bad option. Even though, sure, the sound emulation and all that it's completely off, but if you don't really mind with those type of major issues, and if you just want to like, if you think this is like the cheaper way, then I would say go for it. I wouldn't stop you. It's all up to you. Well, that's all it is for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for each one of you support. And I'll see you next time then. Always have a good day. Peace out.